One of my biggest technique tips that I always have to give out to students is that when you're in a passé, retiré, whatever position, whether you're doing a passé to a développé or you're doing a retiré position, you want to make sure you're not forcing your turnout. A lot of the time we were told when we were young that our knee has to be straight out and we have to make sure that our passé or retiré is completely flat. Now the problem that a lot of students face with that is that they either overcross or they press the knee. And look at my back now. I am totally sinking in my back and I'm trying to force the knee out. Really bad for your hip. So if you want to have a nice turned out passé or retiré, or when you're doing turns you don't want to be in this overcross position and you feel like you're sinking, it's usually because you're overcrossed and you need to think of taking your toe a little bit more to the side, open, rotating from the top, and you also need to think of the supporting side. A lot of the time when people turn out, it's not even overturning out, it's literally just stealing from the supporting leg. But when they take this leg and force the knee open, they're stealing from the supporting leg. So you also need to think of the supporting leg when you're taking your passé, because both legs should be equally rotating. Because if you were to lower down in fifth, in a straight knee position, in fifth position, sorry that took me a while to say, but if you were to lower down fifth, or take your first position, your feet should be equally turned out, right? If you are in your passé, I lower down fifth, I don't change anything, and I take it to first. That is my true turnout, especially in pointe shoes because this floor is awfully slippery, and I also don't have, shockingly, 180-degree turnout. So again, if you take your passé, it's a really good way to tell, or retiré, you go down to fifth, and when you lower down, your front leg is overturned out and your bottom leg is facing forward, you're stealing from your supporting leg. You can even do this simply by lowering down when your foot's still in your passé or retiré, because if you were stealing, then you would be lowering down and your bottom leg would be facing like this, and this knee would be way too far open. Another reason people tend to do that in their passé or retiré is because in their tendus, already from the beginning of the bar, a lot of people take their tendus way too far back, and again, steal from the supporting side. And you don't want to steal from the supporting side because you want your hips to be equally turned out. So give that a go. Take your passé or retiré. When you lower down, make sure, whoops, that both legs are equally turned out. And again, really rotate from the bottom and the back of your legs on both sides, not just the working leg. Your passé or retiré is equally as important to work on in your supporting leg.